Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Grid. And I walked in this morning with this real healthy, positive attitude about just how shocking my outfit was going to be. But then I look at this man and he is hands down the star of the show. Royce, what in the God's green earth is going on here, my friend?
Listen, man, you were going the whole creepy route. I thought I'd brighten things up a bit. You know what I mean? And also, whenever this is a solar podcast, without me, none of this matters. So.
I mean, it's very true. And, I was thinking about it, and I thought the best way to kick this off, coming into the Halloween season, here we are in October, and I think a good, nice Halloween spooky dad joke is kind of the way to start this off.
Ooh,
you ready?
Throwing at me.
You ready?
Yep.
What is a ghost favorite fruit?
What?
It's blueberries.
Oh. I like it.
Come on, man. It's good, right? I mean,
it's good.
I've been a dad for quite a long time, so I've had some experience kind of gathering those up. And excuse the sunglasses, guys, but this guy is so bright, I just can't stand to look at him.
Just made the sun blush.
There you go.
So listen, you got an alternate? You got a secondary joke, maybe?
I do actually have another one. What is a ghost favorite dish?
What's that?
Goulash.
Oh, buttons.
And we're back. Hey, so today we're gonna. What I want to talk about is don't let solar be. I got the ghost in me. Just can't get it out.
Blah blah. Don't let solar be scary.
God, tongue twister of the day. So I know some of the common misconceptions that we hear a lot of times is like, hey, solar's gonna burn my house down. My roof's gonna leak.
Are we supposed to talk about these things?
Well, I mean, I don't think a lot of people do, but I think that's why we're here, right? Is to kind of open up this dialogue, right, where we can have this open conversation and forum.
Absolutely.
And do a little education on the back end. It's kind of what we do, right, or what I do on my side is educate and train. So, what's some common things that you've heard of? Things like, let's say, what are homeowners' kind of ideas of I don't want to get solar because.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, whenever you're taking responsibility for your own energy, which is exactly what you're doing whenever you're stepping in to the solar game, is I think everybody's just kind of used to having their hand held within utility companies and like, listen, we're going to come put a meter up, and then you don't ever have to talk to us again until it's time for you to pay us.
Right.
But solar doesn't have to be scary. As long as you go through the due diligence of going and making sure what compliances you need to make sure that you have all your permitting and hire the right person the first time instead of going around and trying to keep padding your pockets in the regard of this might save me money. Do you want it done by somebody who can save you some money on the front half, or do you want to go ahead and hire that person and then in 3 months hire a certified EG4 installer to come back and fix it?
Get it done right.
Get it taken care of right.
So you bring up a great topic, and this happened last week, so I'm not going to mention who this was or what state this happened in. I got a phone call from an installer, and they had installed the system. I think it was the Thursday before that, so they had gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think I was on job site on Monday. And the homeowner called the installer on Saturday and said, hey, I'm out of power. Something happened. System failed. So they sent a technician out that weekend just to get the homeowner some power back on. Basically, they just rerouted the solar and just ran it back to utility feed, which is fine. It's a great way to mitigate that so we can get the homeowner power back until we can troubleshoot and diagnose the system. So I show up out there on Monday, and those of you guys that don't know, Carlos, part of our technical sales team, was with me. He also lives out in Arizona, but we happen to be traveling together that week. And we go out on site, and me and Carlos kind of walk up, and we're looking at this job site, and I'm like, that's not right. And they had the 12,000 XP or the PV. They had it coming out of there on the load side into a 40 amp fuse disconnect, a 100 amp rated disconnect, but using 40 amp fuses, into a sub panel fed by a 40 amp breaker, and then they landed a 40 amp air conditioner breaker with 9 other branch circuits at 15 amps apiece, and then didn't understand why it was blowing the fuses and causing the power to go out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is pretty basic electrical. So I think, in our conversation today, don't let solar be scary. Also, don't hire inexperienced people to do the work. right? Hire a certified
Absolutely.
installer, make sure that they're certified. I know all of the big OEMs, right? I'm not going to mention them. We all know who they are. We have a certification process, right? You've got EG4 University, you've got University and University, for all those other OEMs out there. But that's a requirement for all of these companies is to become a certified installer, number one, to ensure that they're doing it correctly, and number two, to give that homeowner the confidence that they're getting an installer that knows what they're doing, they understand how the system works, they're going to be able to get it installed correctly the first time without these truck rolls and without power outages. God forbid had this homeowner have had an in-law or a family member that was on some type of life-saving device, maybe their food storage, their freezer, refrigerator, maybe all that went bad. That's not what we're trying to accomplish here. And I understand that hesitation from a homeowner's perspective saying, hey, I've got $1,000 worth of meat in my freezer. If the power goes out, how am I going to support that? So hopefully, I don't think this particular homeowner lost any power. I think the installer was able to get most of that mitigated. I was able to go out there with Carlos and get that situation resolved. But that would be probably my biggest, scare is having somebody that's either unfamiliar with the equipment or unfamiliar with how the process works or something along those lines. That would leave me scared of doing solar. But again, that's why we have these universities and these certification processes to ensure that people are doing it correctly the first time and giving the homeowners the expectation that they're anticipating.
Well, and not only do we have a great university to make sure that everybody, within a basic level understands our product, but then we also have continued educations and even to become certified, I believe they do now have to have at least a installation training with you guys and a commissioning training with you guys now, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's actually up to 3 now.
3? Okay.
So we're actually being brought in now a little bit earlier in the process, which is something that myself and Joel and the members of the technical sales team talked about, is we want to be involved from day one, right? When this person reaches out and says, hey, I want to become an EG4 certified installer, the technical sales team jumps in on that front side and says, hey, we want to be part of your discovery call, or what we call a discovery call, right? That's where we talk to our customers and say, hey, what is your expectations? What are you looking to accomplish? What are your homeowners looking for? Are you an off-grid installer? Are you a grid-tied installer? Are you looking for battery storage? Are you just looking for, utility arbitrage? What does that look like? And that gives us a better world of how do we facilitate training to them. Because we want to train for their needs, not just a cookie cutter, hey, everybody takes the same class. I want to be personal with them. I want to say, hey, you work in, let's say Pennsylvania for whatever reason. What is Pennsylvania's biggest pain points? What do they require? Do they require utility meters? Do they require bidirectional meters? Do they require DC disconnects on a battery? All of these things, now I can go through and I can actually build a training that is dedicated for their region or even better, specific to their organization and how they operate. So that's why we're getting involved a little bit more on the front side. Following that, we've got, of course, our commissioning training, we've got our certification training, as well as design consultation. So if you are doing an EG4 system and you say, hey, I'm a little bit unsure about how to do this on the line diagrams, can you jump on a call? Absolutely, we can. And what that does is that helps to build that confidence, not just with the installer, but also with the homeowner that says, hey, this guy's certified, he's been through the courses, he understands the products, he understands how it's going to work. I'm confident. I'm not scared anymore that my system's going to operate as it's supposed to.
Okay. Well, and also, so I ran into this the other day, just working with our compliance team, which is another thing that we provide to allow, peace of mind to our customers, is there are little things that whenever inspectors come out to check everything out, sometimes they can be a little nitpicky. And from that...
A little.
Hey. We're all part of the same family, kind of. So,
Are you burning up over there, buddy?
Dude, this thing's hot. This thing's hot. I am literally the sun right now.
Not as hot as me, man. I was literally on fire.
Okay, yeah, well, that might have been my fault. My bad.
Could have been.
But the thing is if you do run into those little things, you can call into our support numbers and explain what's going on, and our compliance team will go to bat for you and explain to send paperwork or whatever they need showing why we are compliant within your area. And if it turns out we aren't, they immediately go to work to make sure that doesn't happen again and that we can get you up and running.
That's right. Communicating with those jurisdictions and those inspectors and stuff like that, absolutely. I know, and I was talking to a friend of ours. I think you probably remember him. For those of you guys that have watched the podcast since the beginning, I actually talked to Mr. Chad Bodmer earlier, previous employee here at EG4. Great guy. I've known him for years. He was my boss in a previous life before my time at EG4. But I was asking him just for a reference, like, hey, what's the scariest thing you've ever seen, from a solar, perspective? And his story was actually quite funny. He was out on a job site a number of years ago. Actually, I think this is before I even knew him. And he had an installer that was drilling through a dead front on a main service panel with a live service panel. And as soon as that drill bit cleared that dead front, it actually hit the bus bar and just blew the whole bus bar apart, completely melted the drill bit to the bus bar. And that just kind of goes to that whole, like, hey, man, like, probably shouldn't be doing this if you can't do it correctly. So, again, just kind of that scary moment, especially for home. The homeowner was home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Could you imagine sitting inside of your house and the installer's outside doing his work, and then all of a sudden you hear this loud boom, you got the blue magical electrical smoke rolling around in the background, and now you don't have any power.
Yeah.
So that was his scariest moment. We love you, Chad, man. I hope you're doing well. We'll talk to you soon. But so that one, I want to get into what homeowners' kind of scary moments are. I know I mentioned one from me and one from Chad. I know you've kind of talked about with compliance and stuff. A lot of the things I hear from homeowners is the power outage, right? Mm-hmm. What's going to happen if my power goes out? How do I get in touch with my installer? How do I get the issue resolved? Things like that. We don't necessarily work on the racking side of it. That is where I came from, which where my background started. From a background in racking, I know one of the scariest things is, what if I get a roof leak?
Okay.
Is it going to void my warranty on my new roof that I just put on? The short answer to that is yes. Yeah, you can absolutely void your warranty on your roof. I would advise to reach out to your contractor that did your roof, or the roofing manufacturer themselves, and figure out what does qualify as, voiding the warranty versus installation process of what's acceptable and what's not. As far as water damage goes, unfortunately, a lot of that falls into inexperience, very similar to our certification process. Our non-certified installers have the opportunity to make those kind of drastic mistakes. Now, again, electrical is not going to leak, but you could run into issues with, breakers popping, nuisance tripping, or, lights flickering, things like that, unbalanced loads. That all kind of falls into that same world of, like, a homeowner's fears of what's going to happen with their system long term.
For sure.
The other thing I see is like equipment. Homeowners get scared about where their equipment's going to go, being exposed to, rainstorms and hurricanes, snowstorms, freezing temperatures, excessive heat. Arizona is a prime example of that. So you hear about a lot of that. And again, this all just comes back to this training. We've hit on it time and time again on the podcast. I know me and you have. I think me and Grayson have talked about it. Certification is going to help ensure success. And that's going to, again, just build confidence with those homeowners long term. And I wish that there was a better way for me to reach out or discuss this with homeowners. We're working on some more video stuff, content as well, so you guys will see that coming up soon. But some of the things that I'm going to start doing is doing just weekly trainings. Not necessarily directed at any one specific person, any one specific group or region, but just a general training where guys that are maybe they've been through the EG4 certification process, but maybe there's a couple things they're uncertain of. We'll cover that every week, every couple weeks, just to help continue to build that educational process, as well as when new products come out, we'll slowly just start to integrate that into those weekly trainings that says, hey, come be a part of this, learn a little bit more. Maybe you think you know everything, and then you come to the training and I tell you something you didn't know about. We've always got new firmware updates that help mitigate issues that maybe were in the past, as well as new features and functionalities as we continue to work up our new application for the monitoring portal. We'll start to see some of those new features and benefits coming to fruition. So hopefully that'll help dial back some of those scary moments for homeowners. I know battery storage is a big one. People don't understand how battery storage works. Anthony DeWood, one of our regional sales reps out in, I believe he's in the Southeast, out in Florida. I think the best description I ever heard for energy storage, right, is solar on the roof or your inverter is the motor of the car. And the gas tank of that car is your battery, right? Mm-hmm. You may have a 572 Chevy big block out there just cranking away, 21 kilowatts of power just running all day, right? But if you've only got one battery, you can only drive so far on that tank of gas. So if you get 3 or 4 batteries, now you've gained more gas tank space, and now you can run that for longer down the track. And okay. I think that's the best analogy I've ever heard. I'm a car guy, so it resonated with me, so I thought I'd share that with you guys.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What else you got from a homeowner's perspective? What do you think is scary for them? And I don't want to talk about finance, so I'm not a numbers guy. I know that's scary for everybody, right?
Well, I mean, I think you've really touched on it within the regard of that's why we have different models whenever it comes to inverters and different batteries. Is we are trying to cater to those that are living in a more off-grid and rugged type environment. That's why we have our all-weather batteries, and some of our XP inverters are they're tugboats. They might. The thing is, and the reason I use the term tugboat is we're not trying to take up a whole lot of space on your wall. What we're trying to do is make it as uniformed and nice looking as possible while also getting the maximum performance out of it. So whenever you see a tugboat, you see this little, powerhouse pulling something 18 times its size.
Thomas the Train, buddy.
That's right, man. and so, that's why we have those models. And then if you're looking for something a little bit more sleek and residential looking, and you have the capacity to be able to put your batteries, in a more weatherproofed area. That's why we have our indoor batteries and our our flex bosses and our, things like that are to cater to those that are. It's the difference between living in the country and living in the city. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And so everybody needs something a little bit different, and you wouldn't want to. If you drop somebody off that has grown up in the city out in the middle of nowhere, they're not going to know how to perform, and vice versa.
Right.
So we realize that there are different aspects to this, and there's no reason for you to be, left out in the rain.
I think that's where we're winning. Is and. Again, you look at a lot of these other OEMs, right? These original equipment manufacturers for battery storage, inverters, stuff like that. They don't work everywhere, right? They're pretty dialed into one market, right? That's that utility side, cell back, backfed breaker, or supply side tap, whatever it is. That's kind of their world. That's where they were brought up. That's how they've integrated into the market, over the last 20 years. And then you look at EG4, and we went the completely opposite way. We started in that off-grid, DIY, we're going to give you the equipment that's going to work. And now we're pushing into that utility side, which I think has really helped us, right? So we're more agnostic across, the continent. We're able to go out there and do these small off-grid hunting cabins or, these off-grid, preppers or people that want to operate a farm but don't want to be tied to a utility.
We're like Crocodile Dundee.
I'm pretty sure he didn't have any power out there at the old, I don't even remember what he called that place out there in the middle of the wilderness, his lodge.
Yeah.
But you get all these, that DIY market into the utility side, and now we're very prominent in the industry. And I think that's helped us. The DIY market is very ruthless. A lot of these guys probably know more than I do. And I've been doing this for a long time, but it's because they do so much research. They look at every different manufacturer on the market. They look at their spec sheets. They're looking at their total input versus output power, total ampacity, total battery storage, all of these things. Versus on the utility side, you just get a sales guy that knocks on your door and says, hey, I want to put, a bunch of glass on your roof and some electrical stuff on the side of your house. And a homeowner goes,
it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to work. And the homeowner doesn't know any different. Now, again, as we continue to be more technologically savvy, a lot of homeowners now are a little bit better informed and have more opportunities to learn. So that's kind of going away a little bit, but not completely. But that's got to be scary too, right? Like you're taking a sales rep's word for it. He's going to come into your house. He's going to tell you, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, and you're going to get whole home backup. I got news for you. Probably not.
Right.
Whole home backup is one of these things that that's what we strive to do, and we're good at it. And a lot of these other manufacturers, I think they're also good at it, but I think the sales organizations are not good at selling it correctly.
Sure.
And that would be scary for me as a homeowner, right? Like this guy's coming in and telling me that my system's going to operate and it's going to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to be able to, power outages. I'm going to be able to power my house for 5 days. I can run, my EV charger and my electric water heater and my pool pump. It's just not realistic. Not without spending a substantial amount of money and getting a very large scale, kilowatt hour of storage.
Well, I think that's another great thing is, the people that we've partnered with to distribute our product. They're all very electrically savvy. All of them have been in the game for...
Yeah, absolutely.
Ever.
Most of them.
Most of them.
You get some newer guys to the industry, which is great. I love to see new, young, enthusiastic people that want to learn the trade, whether it be electrical specifically, PV, wind storage, whatever that looks like. Because at some point, I'm going to get older, and I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Somebody's got to step up and start taking that lead role. And seeing our youth come into the industry and start to learn that process is great, and it's something that I really strive for. It's something that I enjoy doing, is training, the younger generation to come up and be the next Nathan, to be the next Royce, to be the next Carlos. So that's something that I'm passionate about. Also doing that, as you inform more people and they share that knowledge across the platform, those fears start to diminish, right? Because now we're sharing knowledge. And the only way to get past those fears is to share knowledge, right? Is to be transparent in your information.
Well, not to mention, I remember just a few years ago, we were trying to show people why we were one of the best options out there. And we were able to get out there and become a nationwide brand.
That's right.
And start educating people about, and like I said, I've mentioned it in other episodes, it's all about education and, showing the homeowner what they're getting out of their system and being able to train the installer on best practices. And now, heck, this week we've got our sales team and technical team in Canada.
Yeah.
Showing all the installers and everybody up there exactly what EG4 is about, and again, best practices.
Yeah, where are they at this week? Are they in British Columbia or?
No, I think Vancouver.
Vancouver, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But we're eliminating that fear not only in the United States now, but we're
international.
International. We're trying to, alleviate these concerns not only for our neighbors, but now all over the world.
Our neighbors to the north.
Yeah, our neighbors to the north.
Going on that too, it's a little off topic for the "Don't Let Solar Be Scary" topic, but Carlos, those of you guys that haven't met him, he's a great guy. But he's bilingual. Was raised most of his life in northern Mexico, being from Texas originally. But he is going to be kind of our driving force for our new South American markets, because he is bilingual. He understands the culture. He understands the electrical, problems that they have down there. So he's going to be, I think, spearheading that training platform for, our South American markets as well as our Caribbean markets for, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and stuff like that. So I think that's great, right? So now I don't think we have anybody that speaks French. Hopefully somebody will learn it one of these days. Probably Anthony DeWood. That guy's pretty bilingual and super smart. But if we could get some France in there, get guys, going up into, French Canada.
That's Shelley's region, isn't it?
I believe so, and I highly doubt she speaks French. But you've got, so if we could cover all of Canada, right, between, English and French. And then you've got Carlos Prospero. He's going to go down, do the South America stuff, getting into, South Mexico and, Central America with Spanish and English. And then you've got, me, Josh Farmer out here in Texas. Kevin Phillips, he's British, so he's not perfect, but he's pretty solid. So we'll take him, but he's out there in Florida doing his thing. Hopefully we can continue to grow that market and just keep, pushing across the pond.
I say across the pond?
Yeah.
No, Kevin's one of the only employees that does like that. That was one of the big things, was that he was a EG4 believer before he was even an EG4 employee.
That's right. And do you know how he got his start?
Just DIY?
Well, he was a beta tester.
Oh, that's right.
He was one of our beta testers here at EG4, and he installed the product. He loved it so much. He reached out and said, "Hey, I want to come work for you guys, and I want to spread the EG4 news and build this brand because it's."
And
truly
that's the culture we emit. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Crazy.
Sorry, I have outbursts sometimes, man.
We know. No, it's nice to have Kevin on board because he literally built an EG4 off-grid system solely on his own, just through beta testing. And he was so passionate about it after installing it and so confident in what it does and its capabilities that he decided to come be a part of the family. We're happy to have him. He's a great addition to it, and he's a little tough to understand on mornings, especially when I'm on my first cup of coffee. But overall, he's a good dude. Also very educational. His background in the DIY space is very, very helpful to help people not be so scared about what that looks like, how to wire it correctly. He's very, very knowledgeable on kilowatt hours of storage, right? how many kilowatt hours of storage you need to truly take a home off grid. I didn't know this till a couple weeks ago. Do you know what the average kilowatt hour per storage you need to 100% offset a house?
What's that?
180%. So if you take your current utility bill and you say, my utility bill for the month is 300 kilowatt hours, you need 180% of that to truly be off grid, to truly be independent. That's expensive. And this is where EG4 comes in with its modularity, right? You don't have to come in and make, and do 200 kilowatt hours of storage out of the gate. You can say, I want to start with 30, 2 of the 14.3 kilowatt hour batteries.
And expand later.
That's right. And just continually grow that system, right? You put the grid boss in, now you've got the capability of 3 inverters. Mm-hmm. With 3 inverters, you have the opportunity for 18 batteries at 14.3 kilowatt hours. Now again, we got a new battery coming out. I know there was some talk on the last episode, and I'll get to you guys in a little while. But our new 16 kilowatt hour battery, I think, is coming out end of the year or early Q1. I haven't seen a dedicated date yet, but I know they are on the way.
Okay.
But when you get up to that 16 kilowatt, now you can actually reduce the total number of batteries you need because you're gaining, a little over 1.5 kilowatt hours of storage per battery. So if you do 6 batteries, you're almost at an additional 10 kilowatt hours of storage. So we're expanding our kilowatt hours of storage. It's the same footprint, same weight, same mounting bracket, but we're giving people more for the same cost. I mean, we're not saying, hey, we're going to give you another 1.5 kilowatt hour of storage, but we're also going to charge another $4,000. That's not what EG4 does. We're going to give you that extra storage because we love you, because we want you to come be part of the EG4 family. We don't want you to be scared. Come in, get a hug. The son loves hugs. Every time, what's the first thing I do when I come in the office when I travel out here, Royce? What's the first thing? I come give my buddy a big old hug, man, and it's always great to see him. It's all love here at EG4. We don't want you to be scared.
Well, the overall tone of it is, just any scary movie lover knows that whenever it comes to a scary movie, there are rules, and as long as you know the rules, you can make it to the end of the movie. Yeah. And it's the same way with solar. There's rules to this thing, but as long as you know the rules, there's nothing to be scared of.
And I think one of the better things...
Don't go upstairs.
Never go upstairs.
Never run upstairs.
God, it's terrible.
Always out the back door.
Or don't run into the farm, right? Like into the farm shed or the barn.
Yeah.
That's where the killer's hiding. That's day one stuff, guys. Day one. But I think...
Just hire a guy in a nice blue jumpsuit to walk you through the process.
That's right. I do want to talk one other thing really quick. And this is something for homeowners out there. If you're looking at doing an EG4 system and you're not confident in doing it yourself, you're scared about what that looks like, that's fine. Come onto our website. I believe it's on our website, and you can correct me. You're a little bit more in tune with this. But we have that opportunity where a homeowner can say, hey, I want an EG4 system, and we'll put you in touch or give your information to a certified installer in your area that has been through the training, that is confident in their work. We're confident that we're going to provide that contact, right? So we're confident that they're going to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
So that should really take a lot of that scary thought out of that equation, just doing that. Can you just coach to that? Where is that? Is it on I know it's on Power Station.
I believe
is it
it's
also
just
on the website?
Okay. Yeah, you can request to be put in contact with an installer near you. And also, if you're not able to find it on the website or anything, just give us a call in. Normally, I'm the voice on the other end of the phone, and I'll be happy to help you guys out.
If you think he's lying, call the number. I sit right next to him when I'm in town.
What's your favorite scary? I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
I so hope you answer the phone like that. Just pick up the phone and go, EG4.
Hey, that was really good.
It's not bad, Yeah. I'm a big scary movie guy. Halloween happens to be my favorite holiday of the year. I already have a plethora of front yard decorations installed in my yard.
Nice.
So I'll get some pictures. I'll post them online for the team to see, and then maybe we'll share them on the EG4 forums and let people know, that it's my favorite holiday. It's something I'm truly passionate about. One thing I do want to talk about next month. I don't know if you're going to be here for those episodes or how that's going to work, but I want to preface this with what are we thankful for? What does next month look like for us?
I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I know for my house, we do
From don't be scared to what are we thankful for? Look at us.
Well, hey, be thankful you're not scared about solar anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. But next month, I know we do 2 things at my house every year for Thanksgiving. Number one is the family Thanksgiving. The wife, the kids, the dog, all that stuff. And then we have what's called the Friendsgiving. And that's bringing in all of our close friends and, close relationships that we've all established over the years, whether they live in Arizona or California, Nevada, wherever it is.
Making them go through the LMS program.
So we bring them out, we bring everybody out to the house. We do a massive cook. We fire up the barbecues, the smokers, the wife will cook a turkey. But let's talk about next month, what we're thankful for. I'm going to kick it off a little early. I am thankful to be here at EG4. It's something that I'm truly passionate about. I love James's mission. Please don't be scared about solar. There's nothing to be scared of. If you're doing it right, you're taking the right courses, you're getting certified, you're talking to the right people, there's no reason to be scared about what we do. If you are scared, please reach out. We've got a couple different contact information out on our website. We've got our installer technical support line. We have our general tech support line. You have our technical sales team. If you're a certified installer, you can reach out to a member of our team. You've got Royce over here, the big bright sun in the sky. He's, like he mentioned, he's always on the phone. He's happy to help, get you to the right person, make sure that contact is made. So please be sure to check us out next month. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe over here to Beyond the Grid. Royce, I want to thank you so much for being out here today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on this month's Beyond the Grid. Stay sunny, stay safe, and don't be spooked by solar. Thanks. We'll see you next time.